Whoa, baby, that is a lot of weed. What's really in your CBD?
CBD is good for everything. It's like an overall wellness.
Undercover.
Kind of like a superpower almost.
Superpower or super scam?
To say it's 100% effective is misleading.
Are you really sold what you're told?
We found absolutely no CBD in that oil.
Investigating the world of CBD on your marketplace. Here's something we don't normally do on Marketplace. What do we got? We're breaking the law. Where's that from?
This one's from BC.
All these products we just bought, these oils and creams,
Oh, it smells like eucalyptus.
these pills and pet products,
CBD hemp pet oil drops.
these chocolate bars and gummies. Smells good. They're all illegal, but we didn't realize how illegal they are till we ordered them. Shake well before use, 3 times a day. We want a lab to test what's actually in these things.
Put it on your pillow and it gives you a nice night's sleep.
The key ingredient is supposed to be CBD, or cannabidiol, a compound found in cannabis that doesn't get you high. But these websites we bought from say it could help with everything from sleep to pain to anxiety.
It's a disposable vape pen.
Problem is, those sites, their health claims, and these products are all part of a thriving black market that's putting Canadians at risk.
Wow.
Do you use CBD?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, wow. You do. What do you use it for?
Anxiety?
Yeah? And does it work?
Absolutely, 100%.
Excuse me, miss. Do you use CBD?
Occasionally.
Oh,
Sometimes anxiety, sometimes to help me sleep better, sometimes to get out of my head and more into the rest of me.
Sometimes I use it as a hand cream, sometimes if I need to get to sleep.
so a hand cream helps you get to sleep?
A little bit, yeah.
Do you use CBD?
That's so fun, we were just talking about it.
Really? Everybody's talking about CBD because it is in fact legal in Canada, if you buy it from the right places.
My husband uses it for various health issues, so like body pain.
Do you know that a lot of the CBD products that are out there are actually illegal?
No, I don't. I know where he gets it from. It's the government, so I don't think that that's illegal.
She's right about that. You have to buy CBD from the government or a licensed retailer, not the black market where so many of us shop. Now, do you know that a lot of the CBD products that are out there are actually illegal?
There you go, I didn't know that.
I was not aware of that, no.
And how do you get yours, if you don't mind me asking?
Not gonna go into that. Do I look like a fool?
CBD has come out of nowhere in just a few short years.
Today is love.
The US took it off its list of controlled substances, and that sparked a buzz. Celebrities like Martha Stewart jump on board.
I am launching a new line of CBD products. I'll leave the THC offerings to Snoot.
Laws change in Canada around the same time, but when marijuana is legalized, CBD becomes a controlled substance under the new Cannabis Act. That means strict rules on possession, production, and who gets to sell it. Advertising and branding are prohibited, so is talk of any health benefits. But tell that to places like this, a trendy wellness store on Toronto's Queen West. It's not a licensed CBD retailer, but one of many unlicensed stores that have popped up in the face of demand and in defiance of the law.
Here we are.
Their signage makes it clear they sell CBD, so we head inside with hidden cameras to see what other rules they're breaking.
Hi. Good, how are you?
In no time, the clerk is telling us how CBD can help with health problems, the kind of talk the government has banned.
So CBD helps with inflammation in your body, and that could be something topical like skin rashes, psoriasis, acne, wrinkles, sun damage, etc. And then we do have tinctures, which are like oil droppers for stress, anxiety, insomnia, anything to do with your internal system.
Then we find another big no-no, products with health claims right on the label. For instance, Relieve CBD Pain Serum is formulated to relieve joint pain, back pain, muscle tension, stiffness, inflammation, and swelling.
I have some lower back pain from my kids. Would that work on that?
100%. I get upper back pain because I'm hunched over my desk all day, and I put this on, and in 15 minutes it feels like relief.
To say it's 100% effective is misleading. That's marketing, not evidence.
Jason Bussa researches medicinal cannabis at McMaster University in Hamilton. He's alarmed by what we show him.
So you're seeing a number of problems in these clips where claims are being made when they're not supposed to be made, and then they're exaggerated beyond belief and far in excess of where we have evidence to support.
Bussa says there's little proof that topical creams or serums can even penetrate skin, let alone relieve pain.
A true statement would be there might be a minority of individuals that will find some benefit. We've got very little evidence as to whether these topical preparations work and whether CBD in isolation works.
Take a look at what we heard in this store.
We show Bussa another visit we make to another unlicensed retailer selling CBD.
Hi. How are you?
Here we meet a clerk who assures us we've got nothing to worry about.
From what I've learned, it depends on your situation, but it'll help with anything. Like for me, sometimes I have problems falling asleep and then staying asleep. So whatever your body needs, whatever the situation is, CBD will help that.
It's like it can do anything, really.
It's kind of like a superpower almost, but with no negative effects on your body.
There's no side effects?
Like negative side effects, I guess the worst thing that could possibly happen is it not working.
That's not the worst thing that could happen. So anytime you take an active product, and I would include CBD in that category, it has the potential to have benefits. It also has the potential to cause harms. We know that there is some risk. We know that it can interact with some medications that people take.
The worry is about how CBD interacts with medications that are metabolized in the liver, including blood thinners, antidepressants, opioids, benzodiazepines, anti-seizure drugs, and chemotherapy. Bussa says even if CBD is generally safe, there's no one regulating black market products.
How concerned should consumers be about that black market CBD and what's actually in it?
Well, I think they should be concerned for a couple of reasons. One, we know that there have been cases where you can get contaminants on board of these products. Heavy metals, lead, for example, microbes, pesticides, molds of that nature. The other issue is they might be ending up getting THC on top of the CBD that they knew about. And of course, THC can impair your ability to drive or to do other things require concentration. And if it has much less CBD than they actually paid for, it might be below the point that it could have any therapeutic benefit. So there's a number of reasons to be concerned about these black market products.
Which is exactly why we want to test all these products. But it's not going to happen.
Gotta go.
Go.
Our lawyers tell us we shouldn't even have this stuff in our possession.
Cheap or not, I gotta go.
They insist we turn it over to police, even though Canadians across the country are buying these things every day.
We wanted to test black market products to see what was in them, but our lawyers told us that they're too illegal, so we're not allowed to do that.
But we ran into the same issue. We also wanted to do testing of these products, and we got the same advice from our legal people that you did. These products can be acquired by anyone in Canada with an internet connection and a credit card, but you can't actually test what all these people are using, which seems very counterintuitive.
We're not allowed to test CBD, but the U.S. Food and Drug Administration does. More than half of products they look at contain an amount of CBD that's different from what the label says. And almost half contain THC that isn't supposed to be there. That's what happens with Starlet Simon in Fredericton back in 2019. She uses CBD to treat her anxiety, but when she buys a new batch at an unlicensed retailer, it comes with a twist.
I was really high. So I didn't know that I was high. I thought there was something significantly wrong with me. I thought maybe I was having a psychosis. I thought maybe there was some kind of serious medical problem. I didn't even suspect the CBD oil.
A friend tells her to send it to this lab that specializes in testing cannabis. The results are surprising.
No, there was not supposed to be any THC in that CBD oil. I believe it was advertised as less than 0.5 milligrams per mil of THC. What we found was, for total THC, 11.5 milligrams per mil. And we found absolutely no CBD in that oil.
He says it's buyer beware when it involves a black market. Which makes us wonder why Health Canada isn't doing more to rein in illegal products, when it does so much to control the legal side. Like this place.
So when we make a new product, we want to test the potency as we make it.
We're inside MediPharm, a licensed producer in Barrie, Ontario, with President Keith Strachan.
Welcome to our incoming material secure storage area.
Okay, the first thing that hits you is the smell.
Yep, there's you can tell what's probably in these totes. Here we have our starting material of the process.
Whoa, baby, that is a lot of weed.
That's about 2 kilograms of cannabis, 2,000 grams.
Wow.
These box loads of cannabis are turned into box fulls of oils and concentrates, vapables, edibles, tinctures, and gel caps, and plenty of CBD. Here they take security and quality very seriously.
This is our secure storage area where we keep finished and in-between goods.
So what's this?
This would be CBD in its purest form. This is really great for patient products, so they know that they're not getting any THC.
MediPharm makes its products for licensed retailers and medical markets all over the world. And that means following an expensive protocol of testing and quality control dictated by Health Canada.
So one lot of oil is actually this much paperwork.
Wow.
We're taking records of everything from incoming material, milling, the extraction process, the formulation process, and all the end testing.
Not the kind of thing you're likely to see on the black market. Many of the illegal sites we visit do offer test results, though it's not always clear if every batch they sell is tested, and some sites give results that are years out of date. Most cannabis retailers are in fact legal, but we discover they're not always following the rules either.
A lot of Canadians are buying their CBD from licensed dispensaries as they're supposed to, but what they're not supposed to be getting is medical advice from these so-called bud tenders. Take a look.
Can't really talk too much about the medicinal stuff here, but there have been a lot of studies to show that there are quite a lot of medicinal benefits from CBD, and a lot of studies have shown that the oils, the ingestible oils, are the best way to sort of get those medicinal benefits from them.
He started off giving the right advice. I can't give you medical advice about these products. And then 1 second later, he then proceeded to give all this medical advice about the product. So you can't have it both ways.
To be fair, these salespeople are being asked every day about the health claims being made by these products, so what should they say?
The responsible answer to that would be, I'm not able to give you that kind of advice. You're going to have to talk to your doctor or healthcare provider about it, but you can see that that's not happening.
You did a delicate dance around the rules, it seems.
It wasn't that delicate.
They say you should consult a doctor before trying it, so that's exactly what I'm about to do. My personal experience with CBD. I'm back on my CBD regimen, looking to focus on how it helps me sleep. This is your marketplace. Canada's legalization of cannabis has created illegal fallout and a lot of consumer confusion.
I mean, we always get it from like literally the dispensaries that are licensed by Ontario. I guess, I don't know. Actually, now that I think about it.
We've bought CBD products from a black market that is thriving and seems legit.
Is there anything it doesn't help?
I'm not
Obesity, whiplash?
Products that come with no guarantees of what you're getting, and sales pitches that are misleading and against the rules.
I've gotten a customer. She has arthritis, and so does her mom. She uses the lotion, and it really helps her.
Which is why, before you try, you're supposed to see a doctor. Dr. Hans Clark is an anesthesiologist, and he's Director of Pain Services at Toronto General Hospital.
So what brings you in to see us?
I got 2 small kids who treat me like a playground. It's taking its toll on my lower back.
Let's maybe just do a quick physical examination.
Dr. Clark runs a study here that looks at how well medical cannabis can treat chronic pain, insomnia, anxiety, and depression.
All right, so I just need you to let me know if you feel anything tender as I move down your back.
We discuss my medical history, how pain is affecting me, any other drugs I'm on.
You just touch your toes for me if you could.
All this before we even talk about CBD as an option. Nothing like the retail stores we visit.
How do you kind of want to move forward with coping with the pain?
You know, just hoping to get something that makes it go away, but on a more natural side.
I show Dr. Clark some legal CBD products I ordered from Shoppers Drug Mart after talking with a nurse practitioner who gave me the proper medical documents.
You have a cream and an oil and a gel. Is there one that works better than the other?
So these are great questions. So ultimately, the problem we face in Canada, the problem we face in the world, is we don't have the data to reliably answer those questions.
And because there's no reliable data on proper CBD dosage, the general mantra is to start low and go slow. We decide on 5 milligrams of CBD oil twice a day to start.
By about 3 to 4 weeks, we'll have you at a place where either you can understand whether this is a product that can be useful to you or not. And I will also tell my patients that, you know, on average, you're probably looking to spend $100 to $150 a month on cannabis products if you find something that is useful.
So it's definitely not cheap.
It is not cheap, and let's remember, there's no utopia. I would say maybe 1 in 3 individuals might find benefit from this.
Good aroma. Here goes. Not much in the flavor department.
No, it doesn't taste very good.
No, it kind of tastes like you're drinking marijuana.
So, will I find benefit? If anecdotal evidence is mostly all we've got, why not add my 2 cents?
I wasn't feeling an effect after the first little while. So lately I've been doing it just before sleep, but in the middle of the day I find it helps a little bit at this new dosage, so.
It's that the back pain that I initially started off with that I talked to Dr. Clark about seems to have kind of faded away, and I don't know if that's because of the CBD or, I bought a new mattress recently.
As I continue to track results, we're learning even approved CBD, like I'm on, can be used in ways that are not approved. How CBD saved Georgia's life.
And we're fighting for answers from Health Canada. Will they fix a broken system?
This is your marketplace. Our investigation into how CBD is sold and regulated is taking us down a different path.
So Georgia's a Shiloh Shepherd. She's 9 years old.
With Georgia and her owner, Robin Golding of Whitby, Ontario.
She has been in great health her whole life until January of this year, when she was out for a walk and she took a misstep and ended up tearing her ACL, the dog version of her ACL.
They try expensive surgery that doesn't help, and complications follow. Her vet says the best option is to put Georgia down.
I was actually devastated, of course, but also shocked, thinking how did we get from a leg injury to you should euthanize your dog?
Robin searches for someone who can do an end-of-life treatment and finds a whole new option. She now gives Georgia CBD.
Good girl.
These drops are meant for humans, but Robin says they've helped save her dog's life.
We've seen great results. It's a big part of her treatment plan. Having an open mind really, really, really helped our dog have more quality of life and longer life.
The way the law stands, there are no CBD pet products approved for sale anywhere in Canada, though you can find them everywhere, online and in store.
There's sweet potato treats, and these are beef liver treats. It's really good for situational anxiety, like say your dog has to go to the vet.
Instead of risking illegal pet products, veterinarian Dr. Sarah Silcox suggests using the legal CBD meant for humans.
How's she been doing?
Good, really good.
Good. I saw her out front and it looked like she was doing really well. Hello, sweetie, can you just let me take a quick look at you here, kiddo?
Dr. Silcox likes natural therapies like CBD, though she's only allowed to offer guidance.
She seems nice and comfortable, which is so important, right?
Her advice, avoid the black market.
We have had studies that have gone around and gathered some of these products from online sites and pet stores and grooming shops and had them analyzed. And so we know there's a potential for contaminants. But the other concern is that oftentimes they have inflated health claims about what those products may do.
She's head of a group called the Canadian Association of Veterinary Cannabinoid Medicine that's pushing for change.
What would you like to see happen with CBD?
I would really love to see veterinarians able to authorize a full range of cannabis products, and those products would require a certain level of studies to show both their safety and efficacy. And I think that would give a lot of veterinarians and pet families that comfort that they need.
That need for more proof is echoed by medical doctors.
Is the lack of science what's holding back a lot of doctors?
The science is what we always hang our hat on in medicine in terms of what are those randomized control trial findings. Show me that it works better than a placebo. And until we can get some of that data, which we are handcuffed right now to get, that's when we can actually be certain about what we're doing.
Those calls for change, the illegal sales, the misleading claims, we share it all with Health Canada, but they don't want to come on camera. They tell us they are reviewing the Cannabis Act, but won't be done until about spring 2023. The retailers we visit and contact for a response mostly just ignore us. The licensed Tokyo Smoke franchise says it tries to give customers info that follows the rules, and it will continue to educate its workers.
And as for me,
it does seem to have lessened that lower back pain that I was feeling, and so maybe it is having an effect overall.
It was expensive, about $100 a month, but not hard to get legal CBD.
Seems that, I still got some really restful, relaxing sleep, waking up refreshed.
The hard part is telling if it really made a difference.